Good morning. Good morning. Don't need to look at the watch to know what day it is today. 9/11, September 11th. A date that will live on forever. so, um, yeah, we'll wait for a few people to jump on here. We'll go live on Instagram. What's happening today, guys? Pop in the chat. How are you doing on a scale of 1 to 10? Never get this mic just right. I want to thank my cousin Matt Ferry, Veterans Fishing on Instagram, giving me this cool mic stand. Think about him every day and thankful that he just saw my mic stacked on a pile of books and a photo and sent me this thing. And it's like, dude, step your game up. Mike Nunez, good to see you. Bubba Hogan, good to see you, my brother. Yeah, what is happening? How are we doing, guys, on a scale of 1 to 10 in the chat? What's on your mind today? Yeah, wait for a couple people to roll in here. Wendy will be hopping on, share some links with us. I got note cards all over my desk here. Looking for a little inspiration this morning. One of the couple of things I came up with on my note cards, one of that I pulled out is don't take everything on. Not everybody's shit is mine. People throw up on you. And then I wrote crabs in a bucket. So good things that just remind me of some sayings and quotes. Good morning, Bill. 7. Also, like, where am I leaking energy? I wrote who, not how. What else can I let go of? So just some things that I look at in the morning, and a number of note cards inspired by my good friend Steve to just keep that stuff in front of me. So anyway, good morning, guys. Good to see you here. Yeah, Matt Moore, good to see you. Unless you live under a rock, some shit went down yesterday. And by that, I mean a school shooting in Colorado and an assassination of Charlie Kirk, the conservative dude that was just out looking to have spirited debate on college campuses. So anyway, before I jump into today's message, which is about living intentionally in uncertain times, I just wanted to acknowledge that it's a heavy day. It's also 9/11. Jesus Christ, what we've all seen and heard in the news it reminds me of how fragile life really is, regardless of where you stand politically. It's always tragic when violence takes place, and moments like this are kind of they're a reminder that every day is a gift, right? We can't control what happens in the world, but we can control how we show up in our business, in our families, and in our communities. Yeah, and I was pissed off. I'm pissed off. When you see the hat around backwards, I'm either pissed off or I'm deep in an Iron Man, and there's a lot of pain, and I'm going through it. But I wanted to spend a few minutes just talking about living intentionally, and this morning I'm sitting here. I was like, how can I respond to this? I'm gonna go, as Steve said, scorched earth on my live and tell everybody what I think. And the fact is, I've spent a great deal of time or a great deal of effort staying out of the political fray and not dipping my toe in and saying, hey, I'm a Republican, or hey, I'm a Democrat, or hey, I don't think girls should be playing in men's sports, and all this shit, right? All this stuff. And I've just stayed out of it, mostly for fear. If I'm being honest, mostly for fear of alienating a client, worry that people won't buy my stuff, or go, light me up or cancel me or any of that. So really, it's been fear-based. I'll admit that. A fear somebody might attack somebody that's close to me. And I was just thinking about it. I'm kind of all done with that. It doesn't mean I'm going to wade into the political landscape, because I'm far from a skilled political analyst and, political orator. However, um, you know, I do this live every day, and I think a couple of people watch it. And I guess I was just kind of sitting with a coffee this morning, saying, how can I have impact? Um, and so that's why this morning I wanted to just talk about living intentionally. Because when it feels like things are uncertain, life's uncertain, the people who thrive aren't always the ones with the most money or the biggest company. Um, or the loudest voice. It's the ones who live with intention, day in and day out. Okay, look around today and look for the people who are leading and who are stepping up. And if you don't fancy yourself a leader, or that's not your game, fall in behind them. Pick the one that carries your message and fall in behind them. What does it mean to live intentionally? Just stop living on autopilot. It means you stop waiting for the perfect time to make a change, to start a business, to create a relationship or mend a relationship, or take a risk. It's about choosing purpose over default and just doing what you've always done because that's how you've always done it. So many people just drift through life and whatever comes their way, whatever. Intentional living flips the script. Instead of asking what's happening to me, start asking, how am I going to show up? How are you showing up today in light of things that have gone on? Okay. Because all you have to do is open up social media, and somebody makes one comment and here we go, right? Here we go. And guys, I'll say this, like I said, I don't wade into the political landscape, admittedly out of fear. Just going to say that, admittedly out of fear of not wanting to get canceled or have somebody be shitting on my business or whatever it is. But I don't, no more. Like if something's fucked up, I'm going to tell you. Just the way it is. All right. We don't have to be mean about it. Okay. But there's some things that are screwed up, out there. I remember on 9/11, everybody remembers where they were when the world stopped turning. I drove directly to the daycare and picked Bailey up. And yeah, man, it was like I just picked her up and went home. Why? I don't know. We were under attack, right? And I just picked her up and went home. And and then I think about Charlie Kirk, and I'm like, Bailey clung to my leg until she was 5. Till she was 5, buried her head right in my leg. Would super shy. He had that taken away from him yesterday. So yeah, I mean, we don't get yesterday back, right? Tomorrow isn't promised, and that should wake us up. So like, I'm just going to ask you, like, what do you take from what happened yesterday? And again, yeah, there was a school shooting in Colorado, and that's tragic, and it's happening all too often. And then there was a very planned, professional, precise attack on a guy, 31-year-old father of 2, that was just looking to have spirited debate. Call him hateful, call him what you want. If you do that, you haven't been paying attention in my book. But yeah, I took that from his kids. Yeah. So good morning, Roy. Good morning, Dave Brackett. Good to see you guys here. Let me ask you guys, how many times have you put something off, like telling yourself, yeah, I'll get to it when things settle down? How many times have you waited for the right season, the right money, the right opportunity, only to look back and realize that years have passed? It's just crazy. Living intentionally doesn't mean you move, fast and reckless and get out of my way. It means you move with clarity every single day. Every conversation, every action becomes a brick that you're laying in the foundation of your life or your business. Okay. I see 3 pillars. Yeah, I'm going to start Monday morning. I see 3 pillars: clarity, consistency, and courage, right? Let's get clear about it. You can break it up into just these 3 short, powerful points. Know what matters. Define your priorities, before the world defines them for you. This is a crazy time. Business growth, yeah, but also relationships, yeah, health, Faith, wherever your faith is. Legacy. Yeah, stop waiting. It only creates regret, Dave says. How about consistency? Daily actions beat big intentions. It's what you're doing every day, day in and day out. Living intentionally means aligning your habits with your goals. As simple as that. It's not sexy. It doesn't always feel good. It's not always Instagram worthy. Just do the shit. Ask yourself, does how I'm spending my time today line up with where I want to be tomorrow? And lastly, courage. Intentional living requires some courage. Means saying no to what doesn't serve you and yes to what does, even when it's uncomfortable. Sometimes that's making a hard decision in business, or maybe it's spending less time with someone that's not on the same page and working on some of the things that you want to work on. Sometimes it's having a tough conversation with a loved one. Guys, this is something that I've lived, whether it was crossing the line, finish line of an Ironman, which seems so insignificant today, stepping into coaching full time, or raising my daughter. Every one of those moments required me to stop drifting and start choosing what I wanted to do. To say, this is who I want to be, and I'm going to live today like it matters. We don't get them back. We're all only here for a little while. There's a cost to not living intentionally. If you don't live intentionally, life's going to slip by. You look back and see missed opportunities, relationships that could have been stronger, businesses that could have grown and done better and made more money, moments with your kids that you can't get back. Yeah, Bubba says most people spend time planning a vacation, more time planning a vacation than they do planning the week in their future. Yeah, for sure. That's the risk of drifting, guys. And just regret. And regret is a much heavier burden than discipline or courage. Simple as that. So my encouragement for you guys today is it's simple. Show up strong for the people in the world. That's all you can do. You can do a lot more if you want, but that's what I'm going to do. Pick up the phone, tell someone you appreciate them, tell them you love them. Lead your team with intention. Be someone worth following. Don't waste the opportunities that you've been given. We can't control the headlines. We can control how we respond, right? You can't control the wind, but you can control your sails. You can't control the waves. You can steer the boat. Okay, that's where real leadership lives in my book. Bubba says the book out from Ditto to Drive is a great book. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's where leadership lives, guys. I thought about launching into how I feel about everything, but the fact is I'm fairly uninformed. I'll tell you this, 4+ years ago when I didn't care for for who got elected, I just turned off the news and went to work on world domination, doing my thing. How can I have impact? How can I move the needle for me and my family? I'm not going to spread hate on Facebook for 4 years. Just, hey, my guy didn't win, so be it. And just because you voted for somebody doesn't mean you want to have them over for dinner. Doesn't mean you agree with everything they say. But you don't deserve to lose your life as a result. You don't deserve to die in a school shooting. You don't deserve to die on a fucking subway, frankly. So look around, guys, and think of maybe how you can stop living in fear, how you can just reach out, how you can just be a voice for someone else that may not have one, that may not be as strong a personality as you or me. At the end of the day, guys, all we really have is each other. And someday I hope that we're able to reach across the aisle, so to speak, or across the street to thy neighbor, and be able to have a conversation, whether you agree or not. Who gives a shit, right? Whether you agree or not, it's a human being. And I just see too much lack of care of life, frankly. The night before our wedding, right here in Windham, Maine, right here in Windham, Maine, at an intersection I've been through 1,000 times. A guy on a motorcycle cut some guy off and pulled up to the light. And the guy that he cut off shot him. He shot him 3 times, like dead right there in the street, like in Windham, Maine. Like that shit just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. You know, in a state where I grew up, you know, I had to lock a door, could leave the keys in the vehicle, never would worry about having a sidearm, you know. But here we are. Here we are. So, um, anyway, guys, I wanted to share that with you today and just kind of acknowledge some things that are going on. I always say, hey, no politics on the summit and all that stuff, but it's real life stuff. And, you know, I would just take a minute before you wade into the vitriol today and before you become a keyboard warrior. Take a minute and think, rather than do that, how could you find a way to positively affect somebody or something today? That's how you have impact. Don't get into the back and forth exchange. Let me ask you this. Has anyone ever changed anyone's mind on Facebook about anything? Have you ever heard someone say, "Oh yeah, you know, you're right. Thanks for shitting on me and my family and everything I believe in, but you know, I'm really coming around to your way of thinking. Yeah, I appreciate you. Appreciate you throwing those shots at me from your keyboard. Yeah, you really make sense there. Maybe we ought to get together and talk about it." No, it's not going to happen. So why waste time doing it? Take that time and put it into some sort of positive activity. That's all I can say. I don't have any magic pill, magic speech or thing to say that's going to fix everything. But Jesus, you ought to be able to walk down the street. You ought to be able to ride a subway. You ought to be able to drop your kid off at school and know they're going to come back. You ought to be able to participate in a public political debate, spirited debate back and forth. Okay. If you want to use this platform today in the comments to educate me, don't bother. I don't want to hear it. Okay. Keep it. Just keep it. And you guys have heard me. I've routinely throughout the course of the year just cull people out of my social media that are not positive, that are not trying to help, that are not trying to move the needle in a good direction. Doesn't mean I'm going to cancel you if I disagree with you. It's just like I don't have time for the bullshit. You want to have a debate? Give me a call. Talk to me about it. Okay. But I'm not down with that. It's just that, you know, there's no rule. Like I don't understand where it came to be a rule that you needed to have someone on Facebook needed to have a window into your life. If they're not acting right and they're doing things that upset you, there's a little button called block and cull them out. Because it's fantasy land, it's Facebook, it's social media. Get rid of it. Work on your feed over time. It's like unsubscribing from emails, right? I just don't want to see it. That triggers me. That pisses me off. I don't want to see it. I'm going to shut it off. That's what I've done. And there's still a few of you out there that don't come on this live, that watch this live quietly from home and have taken a few pot shots at not just myself, but my wife. I see you. I see you. It's okay. I sleep at night. I sleep well at night, guys, because I'm trying to move the needle, trying to help people. Can't fix what happened. All we can do is respond in our own way and be better. All right. So there, I'll shut it down on that because I could go the rest of the day. Bubba, thanks for all your comments. There's a couple of them that I just glanced over. Guys, come to Mach 5. Check out my Instagram today. I outlined all the speakers. Wendy's got the link in here. Sign up. I guess a lot of people buy tickets in the last month, so that's what's going on. Tony Ruffin's going to be there. Good to see you, buddy. Wendy and I will be down. Bubba will be there. Richard Nordheim's going to be there. We got great speakers. Lee Labrada, 1985. Mr. Universe. Like, Who does that? He lives right in Houston, has $100 million supplement company and protein drinks and all that stuff. Pretty cool. It's gonna be fun, guys. We got a casino night on night 2, Thursday night. Yeah, social hour, happy hour, casino night. Benefits the Live Like Jet Foundation, Steve's son that passed after a motorcycle accident. Um, just good stuff all the way around. I don't want to hear the FOMO the week after. I don't want to hear the FOMO names. Yeah, they're insignificant, Josh. Um, I don't want to hear the FOMO the week after. No, we're not recording it. We'd like to, but that adds a layer of complexity and expense that we're not really going to provide. Plus, we think you should be there, right? So, guys, we're also kicking ass on the daily sales accelerator. So we're having fun with that, amping that up all the time. Giovanni, nothing like gambling in a church. That's right, buddy. And you were at Bubba's event last year, right? Bubba, did you put the link in for that? I think you did. Check out Bubba's event. Are we calling that? Let me see here. Let me see. Get your tickets for Mach 5. That's Wendy's got that one up. I think Bubba put his up there earlier. So just scroll back, guys. Get those links. We do them every day. And we'd love to have you. Gio, are you coming to Mach 5? We're going to see you. Yeah. Best of the best in Tennessee. Yeah. Hey, check this out. Bubba, thank you for putting that in. That link to vote for Mid-South Ponds is the best of the best in Tennessee. Let's help a brother out. Get Bubba going. Bubba does a lot for a lot of people. Doesn't look for much in return and rarely says anything about it. He's just that guy behind the scenes, lifting people up and giving people opportunities and showing them, hey, he's a connector of people. Okay, best described, I think. Bubba's a connector of people, and so let's help him out. Bubba's also got a what I call a pond event happening in, I call it Memphis. It's not exactly Memphis, right, Bubba? Do we have a link for that event up here? Wendy's got the hotel blocks. Yeah. Anyway, check out all the links, guys. It's 9/11. Take a minute today and just, think of where you were when the world stopped turning, and just look for ways to be better yourself. And I really think that's where it starts, with each and every individual person. Just be kind. Wendy has a thing she's starting to wrap her arms around. Be kind and spread love and kindness, and I'm getting behind her on that. So you're going to hear more about that here in the near future, and I'm proud of her. And that's just who she is. That's who I married. So it was funny. She's selling some of the getting rid of some of the wedding stuff, the table runners and the votive candles. And there was a woman who wanted some of it, whatever it was. It was like $25 worth of stuff, right? And she had a hard time connecting. So I said to Wendy, I said, just put it on the porch. Tell her to come get it. And she looked at me. She goes, you know what I want to do, right? I said, yeah, I know what you want to do. You want to drive it to her and give it to her for free. And she said, yeah. I go, and that's exactly what you should do. So that's what she did yesterday. And I think she's doing something similar today. And I'm like, oh, man, it's not about the money. It's about the opportunity it presents to make someone's day. And she wrote the lady a nice note. And yeah, I'm awfully proud of her for doing that. And it transcends. You see somebody do something like that, and then like, well, okay, I guess I can be a little bit better that way. So, guys, thanks for tolerating me today. A little bit of a diversion on my leadership, but it dovetailed nicely for unfortunate reasons. Yeah, Dave Howard, good to see you. Just be nice. Don't be a dick. It's that simple. Very, very simple. Just be nice, guys. Just be nice. And, and if you get a chance to have a back and forth discussion, don't make it personal, right? Just say, hey, this is what I think. This is what you think. What do you think? Why do you think that? Geez, I'd like to know. Maybe you can learn something from one another. So anyway, Alex Redmond, good to see you. Good to see the rest of you guys that popped in. Yeah, vote for Bubba. Bubba for president. The best in Tennessee. Don't worry, you're not voting for him for president. Oh, shit. Guys, I appreciate you. Love y'all. Keep doing good things. And let's soldier on through today. Figure out where we can be better, where you can spread a little bit of some niceties in the world. And let's just start there. We got the best country in the world, the best smartest, doggone best looking sons of bitches around. All right. So let's start acting like it. All right. So you guys have a great day. Appreciate y'all. Take care.